Now, 5 years after the posts were first proposed, Stormont looks set to appoint its first Irish language and Ulster Scots commissioners. And these are the two men who have been offered the jobs. Paul Deeds, who's currently the Deputy Chief Executive of the cross-border body Fóras na Gaeilge, is, according to sources, the preferred candidate for the Irish language post. And former DUP councillor Lee Reynolds is in line to become the commissioner responsible for the Ulster Scots and Ulster British tradition. Let's get more on this with our political editor, Enda McClafferty. And Enda, it's been quite a journey even to get to this point.
That's for sure, Chris. It was back in 2020 as part of the New Decade, New Approach deal to restore the executive that it was agreed that Northern Ireland needed an Irish Language Commissioner and an Ulster Scots Commissioner. Little did we know back then, Chris, we'd have to wait 5 years to get these respective posts filled. Well, now we know after a selection process we have two men in the frame, so to speak, two men being offered the jobs. They are, as you say, Paul Deeds, who's the second in command in the Irish Language Cross-Border Group Fóras na Gaeilge, and a man who's coming with a bit of a political pedigree. That's Lee Reynolds, a former DUP councillor in Belfast and a former advisor as well to Arlene Foster. Now, both men weren't up for talking today. They said the process has yet to be completed. They haven't formally accepted the jobs. We do expect them to do that, though, and once that happens, it'll be over to the First and Deputy First Ministers to confirm their appointments, likely early next month.
And there are a few political questions, Enda, not least exactly what powers they're going to have.
That is the case, Chris, and that remains to be seen, because we do know on the surface these two commissioners are going to be the champions for Irish language and Ulster Scots. They're going to be able to advise government departments and also public bodies on how best to promote Irish and Ulster Scots. Crucially, they're also going to be able to investigate complaints where public bodies maybe do not come up to the mark in terms of the expectation. But I think what's interesting, Chris, in the legislation, there is a line in there which says that the First and Deputy First Ministers can jointly direct the commissioners in the exercise of their functions. We're not quite sure what that means. Will they be operating in some kind of political straitjacket? Will they be subject to political intervention from time to time? Will vetoes be deployed, Chris? We'll have to wait and see, and I think it'll be months before we really see what powers these two commissioners have.
Yeah, sounds like there are plenty of questions. Enda, thank you very much indeed.